निबे सर।
हाँ
हाँ सर ज्वाइन हो गए हैं। निबे सर ज्वाइन हो गए।
हो गए ना?
हाँ निबे सर आपको आवाज आ रही है?
निबे साहब।
Yes, yes, yes. I am able to hear.
Video.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
So shall we start, Inga sir?
Sure.
Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Very warm welcome to one and all. Dear students, it gives me immense pleasure to host an ACE lecture on processes involved in pharmaceutical industry. Being the chemistry student, we are very lucky to explore new avenues in research and manufacturing processes. Today's lecture will be fruitful for all of us. We have with us dignitaries, our resource person, Mr. Chandramohan Nivesa. Sir is director at QAQC MCare Pharma. Our principal, Dr. Pandurang Gaikwad, sir. Principal, Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Pimpri, Pune. Dr. Mrunalini Shekhar, ma'am, Vice Principal, Arts and Commerce Faculty. Professor Shahaji More, sir, Vice Principal, Science Faculty, HOD Chemistry Department. Dr. Neelkant Kawale, sir, Coordinator IQSC. Dr. Dattatre Hingne, sir, Chairman, College Industry Coordination Committee. Let's begin the program. I request Professor Shahaji More, sir, to give brief preface of the program and introduce our eminent resource person, Mr. Chandramohan Nibe, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nibe sir, namaste.
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Okay. Respected Chandramohan Nibe sir, Honorable Principal of Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya Pimpri, Honorable Vice Principal Dr. Mrunalini Shekhar, Madam, IKC Coordinator Dr. Neelkant Kawale, our friend Dr. Dattatre Hingne, all my colleagues and dear students. Now we are going to discuss processes involved in pharmaceutical industry. The plan of the lecture is Honorable Nibe sir will deliver a talk and then you are requested to ask your queries. Okay, friends, you know that chemistry is a central science. From the beginning of the day, we use chemicals. When we wake up early in the morning, we use toothbrush, toothpaste, and while we go to sleep in the late night, we use mosquito repellents, mosquito coils, or any liquids. And all over the day, we use one or two or several chemicals. So without chemicals, life is not possible. And it has become essential. Now, that means our day starts with chemical and ends with chemicals. Between these two, we use a variety of chemicals. Besides these, there is use of chemicals in agriculture, research, medicines, that is health industry, and building materials, and so many all other things. Chemicals are essentials. So chemistry provides a sea of opportunities. That means whenever there is a requirement of chemical, there is industry for the production of that chemical. And in this way, there is a sea of opportunities for the students who have studied chemistry or who are going to study chemistry. Various opportunities are there. In pharma industry, several processes have to be carried out for the production of the desired material. And after production, there are again several processes like quality control and quality assurance. Quality has to be checked. And then a particular drug has to be tested for various purposes. So it is very important, the aspect of pharmaceutical industry, quality control and quality assurance. Nowadays, it has been IT is used everywhere. Similarly, IT, that is information technology, is used in pharma industry also, like chemi informatics. This is a branch of chemistry which combines with IT in the manufacture or production and quality assurance of various drugs. It gives immense pleasure to introduce this function organized jointly by Department of Chemistry and College Industry Coordination Committee. This was part as myself is head Department of Chemistry now. हे फंक्शन जे आहे ते कॉलेज इंडस्ट्री कोऑर्डिनेशन कमिटी मार्फत सुद्धा आयोजित झालेलं आहे. मित्रो, तुम्हाला माहितच आहे की तुम्ही बीएससी एमएससी झाल्यानंतर इंडस्ट्रीज मध्ये पाऊल टाकता, कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड मध्ये पाऊल टाकता. तर असं काही मेकॅनिझम आहे का जे कॉर्पोरेट आणि एज्युकेशन याच्यामध्ये समन्वय साधता येईल? तर अनेक शिक्षण तज्ञ सांगत आहेत की याच्यामध्ये समन्वय साधला पाहिजे. कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्डनं आणि युनिव्हर्सिटी वर्ल्डनं कोऑपरेशन केलं पाहिजे, समन्वय साधला पाहिजे. तर त्या अनुषंगाने आमच्या महाविद्यालयामध्ये कॉलेज इंडस्ट्री कोऑर्डिनेशन कमिटी ही कार्यरत आहे. परंतु पॅन्डेमिकमुळं गेल्या वर्षी काही विशेष करता आलं नाही. यावर्षी आम्ही सुरू केलेलं आहे. असेच इंडस्ट्रीमधून एक्सपर्ट इन्व्हाइट करायचे आणि त्यांचे लेक्चर्स किंवा गायडन्स विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी ऑर्गनाईज करायचं. तर त्या अनुषंगाने मी डॉक्टर निभे सरांचं मनपूर्वक स्वागत करतो आणि निभे सरांची थोडक्यात ओळख करून देतो. फ्रेंड्स, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Mr. Chandramohan Nive sir. You must have seen label on your tablets or bottles of medicine, Cipla or MQR. These two are Indian multinational companies. Friends, Nive sir, Mr. Chandramohan Nive has completed his masters in Ahmednagar College, Ahmednagar in 1994 with good score. He joined in 1994 Concept Pharma, Aurangabad in 1994 as Quality Control Officer. Then Nive sir shifted to Shipla Limited at Kurkum as Director and Head Site Quality till 2018. That means he has almost 24 years experience as quality control officer. At present, Nive sir has been working as director QA/QC, means it is a combination of quality assurance and quality control, which is very important in pharmaceutical industries at MQR Pharmaceuticals. I request Mr. Chandramohan sir to deliver his talk. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I am audible?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good afternoon to all. Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Principal Dr. Pandurang Gaikwad, Vice Principal Professor Saji More, and Dr. Brunaniri Sekar, Dr. Ingne, with Chairman College Industry Coordinator Committee, for giving me this opportunity to give a speech on this particular topic. So today I will try to explain in very simple language, and which will be a basic processes which are involved into the pharma industry. In between also, I will try to speak in Marathi so that you will also able to understand. So whatever the presentation I have prepared, it is based on my experience in the pharma industry and some information I gathered it from the internet, from various sites. So today, I think everything is available on internet. So as Shaji sir has just informed about chemistry and uses of chemical in various industries. So pharmaceutical is one of the industry where these chemicals are also being handled. As I said, everything is available easily on the internet, but we have to see that how we are using this information in right way. So during our time, 1994, there was no such information available on the internet or anywhere. So we need to go into the library or buy the books and study all these things. But today, I think you are very much is available easily. So I think I will just share my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Presentation? Okay. So
Sir.
today we'll go through these processes involved in pharmaceutical industry. First of all, I would like to take you through this industry, Indian pharmaceutical industry. So as most of all the people from colleges like BSc, MSc or going out of the colleges, so you should be knowing about industries. So Indian pharmaceutical industry, there are Indian companies and subsidiaries of MNCs. MNC is nothing but multinational companies. So Indian companies, they are manufacturing all generic drugs, intermediates, bulk drugs or APIs. We'll discuss in detail. I will explain you all these things. About 95% of our domestic medical needs are being catered by the Indian companies. And recently, some other areas are also there where these particular industries are looking for, like drug discovery and development, contract research, and contract manufacturing. So just in background to the pharma industry. See, when we talk about the pharma industry, first of all is a drug. What is a drug? So being a college student, you might be knowing about this. I'm not sure whether you have the drug chemistry or organic chemistry people. See, the drug is a chemical substance which interacts with a living system and produces a biological response. So we know that in our day-to-day, whenever there is any person suffering from any disease, we need to go and take a drug. So these are the chemical substances. Yeah, as I said, the drug product consists of therapeutics and excipients. API, I will explain about the API also. API is nothing but active pharmaceutical ingredient. Whenever you take any drug, each drug is having this particular component, which is called active pharmaceutical ingredient, which combined in a delivery system. The drug product's success lies in its ability to deliver the drug at a certain rate in a certain environment in the body. Whenever you take any drug product, there are two things. One is drug products and drug substance. Drug product is nothing but the tablet, capsule, whatever we take. So the success of that, it means whenever you take any kind of drug, it should get delivered into your body at a certain rate. Then only it is effective. Otherwise, it's of no use. See, there are various dosage forms. You can see here tablets, capsules, injectables, inhalers, transdermal products, and implants. These are some of the drug dosage forms which I have captured here. There are so many apart from these also. So we'll go through stages of pharmaceutical manufacturing. So we have seen that there are drugs are there being manufactured, various forms are there. So we'll go how these drugs are being manufactured or the pharmaceutical products are being manufactured. There is a simple process flow diagram which I think will be able to understand. I will try to explain in very simple language. So we know that the chemicals, so these products what we manufactured, it is all chemically synthesized products. there are biological products, also chemical synthesized products. So today we'll talk on chemically synthesized products. Being all chemistry peoples, I think you might be able to understand clearly. First of all, these chemicals are called as starting materials, which are being procured. So there is a solvents, raw materials, chemicals being procured, and we have to manufacture the API. API is active pharmaceutical ingredient. We will go in detail how this process takes place. I will try to explain this. In addition to the API, to make a finished product, we have to also get the excipients. Excipients also I will try to explain. Once this finished product is being manufactured, we have to pack it. So there is a primary packaging and there is a secondary packaging. So the primary packaging is nothing but the product which is directly coming in contact with this packing material. That is why it is called as a primary packaging material. This primary packaged material, again, we cannot keep as such. So we have to pack it into the secondary packaging to protect the product, whether it is a tablet, capsule or API. So this is a very simple and basic process of pharmaceutical manufacturing. I hope it is clear. More sir, Ignesh sir, till time.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. In between, I would like to get a feedback also. Otherwise, I will just continue and you may be not able to understand. Okay. So as we said, there are different dosage forms. So I want to take you through the solid dosage forms. So there are different means of taking these drugs or the products. First is the oral. In oral, we know that by mouth we take the various medicines. It's all tablets. So in tablets also we can see there are various grades of tablets. Different tablets. You might be seeing various shapes and sizes of the tablets contents. So these are tablets with lozenges, chewable tablets, effervescent tablets, multi-layer tablets, or modified release tablets. So all these are based on the particular products, the capability of that product being get into the body. Then second type is capsules, which is a hard capsules, and some products are also in the powder form. Here we can see the inhalers. We know that aerosols, metered dose inhalers, dry powder inhalers. Mostly you might have seen that many people who is having the asthmas. So in that case, you have to get the product or the medicine directly into your lungs. So in that case, we have to get these aerosols. So these are all dry powder. The powder directly comes into your through your respiratory system, and there will be immediate effect of that. Okay, so now we have seen that there are various dosage forms and the tablets, capsules, everything. So how this is being manufactured from the start, from the chemical, a simple chemical to the final tablet or capsule. So here in this table, you can see in the green color where I mentioned as API. So this is the process for API manufacturing. There are two things. One is API manufacturing. Second is excipients, and third one is the final finished dosage form. API is being manufactured in a chemical plant. So the chemicals, there is a chemical reactions carried out. The chemical reactions which you are carrying out into the lab in a small flask, it's nothing different than that. It's all the same thing. It is being carried out in a large volume. If you are doing it into the mg or gram, here we perform it in tons, depending on the product requirements and the doses. So a simple way to explain this API manufacturing, there is a product reaction, crystallization. Once the product is formed, it gets filtered. There are different means of filtration, followed by the drying of that product. There are again different dryers available. Depending on the product requirements, we have to dry the product. So once this product is dried, we have to test that product, release that material for further processing. So this API manufacturing, this may be a separate company or this can be a same company having both API and formulation. So we can sell out this API to other companies also. From this API, we can make a formulation. So once this API is received at the formulation, there is a first step, or it depends on the process. Either it could be milling. Milling is nothing but the particle size reduction, or to make the product homogeneous or uniform distribution of the particles, so that we can blend it. Here we can see that there is a blender. In the blender, we can get the excipients and the API. So when we mix these two together, we can get a product which we have to further make it granulation. Either it goes for the wet granulation or dry granulation. So to make from powder to a tablet, we have to make it a wet condition, so that we will be able to make it a proper size. So further it goes for the dryer also, depending on the process and the lubrication. So there is a direct compression also. Sometimes the blended material, it gets compressed into the tablet form and is taken out. So then it goes to the tablet in machine. Once the tablets are formed, there are some products which needs coating also, that will go for coating. Then it comes printing, labeling over here, and the final product. So this is a simple way of to understand the manufacturing of a drug product from a chemical. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
So
sir.
as I said, we have seen all this complete process from chemical to tablet manufacturing. Being a chemistry student, I would like to take you through the main ingredient, that is a active pharmaceutical ingredient into the pharma manufacturing. See, pharmaceuticals, again, those are different things. Mostly pharmaceutical pharma peoples, B.Pharm, M.Pharm, those are involved into the formulations, but these chemistry peoples are involved into the active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing. So first of all, I would like to give a brief introduction about the various departments into the API manufacturing. See, in this particular business, manufacturers, we call it as a APIs, as I explained. The raw materials used are all chemicals. The function of department of this business, there are various functions here. See, to have to run a factory or a company, we need to have a different departments, and there are responsibilities and roles defined for each function. So various departments are there. First of all, production, quality control, quality assurance, process and development, technology transfer, process engineering, engineering services, projects, regulatory affairs, supply chain management, warehouse, business development, information technology, finance, human resources, administration, and marketing. I think now from this, you might have got a clear picture that there are various departments from starting from the receiving of the material till the marketing of the product. So each function has their own responsibilities, and that to be performed by them. So we'll go in detail about each and every department, so that you will be able to understand what actual their responsibilities are and how they look. I have captured taken some photographs, so that you will be able to understand. First of all, we'll go through the process development and technology transfer department. See, any product which we have to manufacture, active pharmaceutical ingredient. So being a chemistry students, you know that there should be a process development. So the product will be done into the lab in the gram scale or milligram scale. Once the product is developed, we have to take it to the plant level. So during this process development, process engineering, technology transfer teams, they have to work together and deliver this product to the site. So the responsibility of these three departments is to develop the product. So this process development team will define the process in large scale. Then process engineering team will ensure the process goes smooth and take care of troubleshooting when required. See, particularly this process engineering. Now, as a chemistry students, we know what is the chemistry of the particular reactions and all those. But simultaneously, we have to see the engineering part also. Various equipments are being used in the manufacturing. There could be reactors, dryers, or centrifuges, filtration aids, everything. So this process engineering, they have to take care of this particular area, and they will define the things. And the technology transfer team, they have to take care of the developing the process from lab scale to the plant scale. See, immediately you cannot go directly from lab to the plant. So there are various things which need to be understood and care to be taken while transferring the product. In lab, scientists can manufacture it, as I said, milligrams or in grams. Technology transfer teams manufacture at pilot scale, kilograms, by ensuring the quality is maintained throughout the process. So whatever product we have manufactured, which is done in the lab, developed into the lab, is it tested, and so same thing we have to take it into the plant. Okay, so we'll see what actually we do into the API production department. Here is a typical photograph of a plant, which I have taken just for your understanding. So you will be able to understand. I don't know, somebody might have seen this API manufacturing blocks. So here we can see the series of reactors. So this is a chemical processing area. So in the lab, you know that there is a glass flask, there is a condenser, cooling water, chilled water, or heating, you do it. Okay. So same thing is done here also. Here we have the series of reactors. Each reactor, you can see there is a separate set of assemblies there. So for each reactor, I will take you to the next slide where you can see the particular reactor. Okay, so here you can see a typical reactor where we have the charging from here. There is an agitator inside. Okay. And all the chemicals or the solvents are being charged and the reaction happens into these reactors. There is a bottom side where we can get the product out of this reactor once it is formed. There are various in-process checks also done, whether the reaction goes for completion or not. If it goes for completion, it is taken ahead. If it doesn't go to completion, there is further processing also. So this is what we have discussed about reactors, where the actual reaction takes place. Even after reactions, there are certain purifications of the product also done in various solvents. It could be acid-based purification. It could be solvent-based purifications. Once this product is purified, it goes to the powder processing area. See, directly the product is in wet condition, which is centrifuged, the mother liquor, which is taken out, the liquid goes out, and the solid wet cake goes for further processing, where we take it into the powder processing area. So the final crystallization of product happens and then it goes for the powder processing. So here we can see a typical powder processing area where you can see different separate cubicles for each kind of operation. The cleanliness in the area, you can see that because we are manufacturing the life-saving drugs or the products which are going to the patients. So we have to take utmost care of the area as well as the persons. You can see these people who are working in this particular area, they have to wear a complete gowning, which there are two things. One is a personal protection, second is the product protection. So in all these areas, you can see the cleanliness, the air which is supplied is also a filtered air. Here you can see the powder transfer system. This particular person is transferring the product or the chemicals through a powder transfer system to the reactor. It is again under vacuum. So this is transferred into the bulk. I hope this gives a clear idea about the API manufacturing, chemical plant and powder processing area. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the manufacturing operations, actually I will give some background about this, what actually they are doing, what are their responsibilities, and what cares we need to take during this. So first of all, these activities are carried out under the supervision of technical staff. So all BSc, MSc, BE Chemical, those kind of people are there to handle these activities. Critical steps, as I said, we need to perform by trained personnel under direct personal supervision of an approved technical staff. The contents of all vessels and containers shall be conspicuously labeled. So everywhere, because we are having handling multiple chemicals or the products, we have to label each and everything, each and every equipment, item, whatever is there, accessory. So as to avoid the mix up and cross contamination, which is most important part while manufacturing these products. So SOPs shall be maintained. So SOPs, this is nothing but standard operating procedures. So each and everything shall be operated in a particular manner. So standard operating procedures are available. Any person who is working on the shop floor has to follow the same procedure. Otherwise, if the instructions, it is nothing but instructions to the people working on the shop floor. If they don't follow the same, there will be a difference into the process. So that are very important thing. All equipment shall be labeled with their current status. So every time you have to see that the current status should be available for each and every product, equipment, everywhere, area. Processing of sensitive drugs is in isolated production areas with independent air handling unit and proper pressure differential. See, when we say these are all life-saving drugs or the patient products which are going to the patients, we have to take utmost care. So we cannot manufacture it in the open area. So there are air handling units inside this. We have to handle this. There is a pressure differential. There is no contact with the outside area. Whatever is there inside is completely isolated. There are isolators also being used for handling of some sensitive products or the potent drugs. So packaging lines shall be adequately segregated. Again, while packing, we have to see that there is no mix-up or contamination. It should be adequately segregated. Required levels of temperature, humidity, and cleanliness. So we know that whatever the products we manufacture, chemicals, there is a particular storage condition required, temperature or humidity, and the area cleanliness to be maintained. Uniforms for manufacturing operations, including packaging. As I said, there are various uniforms to be wear by the operators while handling these products. It all depends on what product we are handling. Segregated enclosed areas secured for recalled or rejected material. So there should be a separate area, because whenever we get any material, there will be some rejections also, there will be some failures. So that we need to keep it separate and secured. So this is what about manufacturing. So once the product gets manufactured, it goes to the quality control for further testing. See, I am taking very brief introduction to each and every area. There are a lot of things involved into this particular processing. So once the product is manufactured, it goes to the quality control department. So here are various photographs which I have got here. You can see that there are wet chemistry, there are HPLC systems, there are gas chromatograms, and other instruments are also there. Tap density, bulk density, pH meter, all kind of testing is being done in the lab. So each and every material coming into the manufacturing site need to be tested and released. So quality control, the role of quality control is to perform this. We'll go in detail what about QC systems we are having. So just a minute. See, once the product is manufactured, the QC has to sample the product. First of all, there are the procedures, how to sample, where to sample, how much sample to be taken. So that is defined. There is a specifications. Specification means each and every material, whether it is a raw material, solvent or API, intermediate, finished product, everything is having a specification. According to that, the product is tested and released by the QA/QC. So based on specification, testing is done and the documentation is also performed. So each and every test, whatever we are performing, the particular documentation part is also to be taken care immediately. Release procedures are there, whether to release, not to release, or whether the material gets rejected. So there are procedures for handling this. Not just confined to laboratory operations, but shall be involved in all decisions concerning the quality of the product. So QC is completely responsible for these particular things. All decisions related to the quality. Every manufacturing unit shall establish its own QC lab. You will not find any company which is not having a QC lab. Either they have to do in-house within the factory, or they have to get it tested from the outside. So each and every product or the raw material need to be tested. See, again, there are various departments within the QC. As we know that the products what we manufacture or the materials, there are chemical testing, there are instrumentation testing, there are microbiological, biological testing. So each and every product based on their specification will have this particular information. The storage conditions shall be provided for keeping reference samples. So whatever materials we get, we have to keep the reference sample, whatever we manufacture. After dispatching the batch, there should be some sample available at our site. So as to get any complaint if it is there. As I said, there are various SOPs in quality control also for sampling, inspecting, testing. And as I said, testing will be raw materials, intermediates, bulk finished products, even packaging materials also, which is also very important. So all kind of testing work is being done by the quality control. First of all, we have seen process development, process technology transfer with the process engineering, followed by API manufacturing, where they manufacture the product. Then it goes for the QC for testing. Once the product is tested, it goes to the warehouse. Here in the warehouse, we can say that there are two things. Even the raw materials also comes into the warehouse, which we take it for the API manufacturing. So there are separate warehouses for raw materials and finished products, APIs. Here are some photographs of warehouse, how it looks like. You can see the cleanliness in this warehouse also. This is particular in this corner. I've seen the pharmaceutical warehouse. All the materials which are kept on the racks, there is a space provided, there is a cleanliness maintained. Even the forklifts are being used inside. There are the people wearing the clothing here inside. So this kind of drums, fiber drums, you can see here brown color. So these are all intermediates or final API. Okay. In the warehouse, the activities are like receiving and storing protection to goods against the heat, wind, storm, moisture, and also cut down losses during wastages. Collecting customer orders, picking, labeling, and repackaging of the ordered goods, making them ready for physical transportation. So we have seen that manufacturing, quality testing, and distribution by the warehouse. So during warehousing, we have to see the storage conditions also. This is very important. Whenever we manufacture any product, if we don't take care of all these things, there is no meaning into that product quality. So to maintain the product quality, we have to see the temperature, the air conditions, and the light. These are the three things which are very important while handling and storing the product. Temperature, daily monitoring and recorded every house. Temperature in warehouse must be not exceed 25 to 30 degrees. Again, there are various product requirements wherein we have to take care of 2 to 8 degrees Celsius or minus 20 degrees Celsius. Even some product require minus 65 degrees Celsius also. So all kind of storage conditions are available. Accordingly, the product gets stored into that. In case of air, all containers should be hermetically closed. We cannot keep the product open. Being a chemistry student, you might be knowing that the products are hygroscopic, which can absorb the moisture. So to avoid all these things, we have to keep the product at right temperature, protected from the air, which is again packed into, as we have seen, primary packing, secondary packing. So this is the purpose of that packaging. Light, many API should be stored in dark room. We know that some of the products are light sensitive also. So there are various means how to protect the product from the sunlight. It is not directly stored into the sunlight. There are packaging materials. There is a black polythene bag also, so which is used for the light sensitive products, and fiber drums, which is again as a secondary packaging material. So these are the conditions we need to take care during the product storage. General requirements for warehousing. Again, as I said, there are a lot of things. Cleanliness we have to maintain with the warehouse because the products are kept and handled over there. We have to clean the ground surface regularly. one thing, disinfectants are being used here. Then main thing, the pest to fight against the pest, we have to take care of all these pest controls. Okay. So one of the important part of this total system into the site, quality assurance department. So now in each and every area we have seen the activities are being performed by each and every function. So overall, this quality assurance department is there who has to take care of all these things. So quality assurance team will define the quality of the drug, as we have seen the specifications or the standard operating procedures. These are all defined by the quality assurance. Reviewing of the batch records. So as I said, there will be documentation in each and every area. Manufacturing, QC, warehouse. So all these documents gets reviewed by the quality assurance. And then QA has to approve the quality of the drug. It required good knowledge on GMP guidelines. So all these QA people who are working in the quality assurance department need to have a GMP knowledge. So you might be I'm not sure whether you are aware about GMP. GMP is nothing but good manufacturing practices. So what is GMP? So GMP is that part of quality assurance which ensures that the products are consistently manufactured and controlled to the quality standards appropriate to their intended use. See, whenever I'm manufacturing any of the product, I need to get a consistent result. It should consistently meet the requirement, and that to be controlled to the quality standards. As we know that there is a specification, every batch, whatever I make, it should meet the quality standards and the appropriate to their intended use. If the drug is manufactured to cure my disease, it should be intended to that use only. Otherwise, there is no meaning into that taking that drug. Okay. So GMP is basically taking care of all these things. Then a set of principles and procedures which, when followed by manufacturers for therapeutic goods, helps ensure that the products manufactured will have the required quality. So if we follow the same thing, same procedure, same facility, same raw materials of quality, we should get the consistent product. This is the basis against this, behind this GMP. So what is done under GMP? So we can summarize here. All processes are clearly defined systematically. As we said, there are standard operating procedures. All necessary resources are provided, like adequately qualified and trained personnel. So for performing all these activities, we need to get a qualified and trained person. Adequate premises and equipment. So all the equipments are well qualified and clean and neat. Adequate services, in the sense utilities required for this manufacturing. Appropriate materials, containers and labels. So these are also important. Approved procedures and instruments, suitable storage and transport, and adequate QC facility. So these are all the things which are considered under the GMP. Qualification and validation work is performed. So each and every activity, whether it is the equipment qualification or the process validation or the person validation also, if one person who is doing the activity, whether he is doing the same thing every time, that is also checked. In QC, we have to see the personal validation also. If you are performing a test, whether you are doing the same thing or really you are able to do it, that is checked. Procedures and instructions are written in clear, unambiguous language. So instructions are very important. If there is something wrong into the instruction, that will lead into the failures. So it is very important. The language is also important here. Operators are trained. Manufacturing procedures are recorded. Whatever we perform, we have to record it. If you are not recording, that means it is not done. Whatever you do, you have to record it. All productions and distribution records are retained. Just not recording, but we have to retain that records also. So the product what we manufacture, it goes into the market. Till the expiry or the shelf life of the product, we have to retain all the documents. Proper storage and distribution of products, recall of any product batch, complaints about product quality are investigated. See, whenever we dispatch any material, there are chances of having some failures or damages or any quality issue. So we get the complaints from any customer. So that complaint we need to investigate what went wrong and what we can do so that it will not get repeat again. Sometimes we have to recall the product also, the batch. Wherever we are supplied, we have to tell to the customer to send the material back. We cannot dispatch it further. Okay. So these are the things coming under GMP. So why this GMP is important? As I said, a poor quality medicine may contain toxic substances that have been unintentionally added. So we have to see that there is no unintentionally added any material. A medicine that contains a little or none of the claimed ingredient will not have the intended therapeutic effect. As I said, whatever drug or product medicine we are taking, there is a particular therapeutic use and that should be effective. Otherwise, there is no meaning into taking that. Some of the risks are there. Unexpected contamination of products causing damage to health or even death. See, unexpected contamination of products. This is very important. If there is by chance, by mistake, something is getting contaminated, we know that this particular product is going into the patient. There could be a damage to health. It can even lead to the death of the patient also. So it's very important part of this GMP. Incorrect labels on containers, which could mean that patients receive the wrong medicine. See, if the patient is suffering from BP and the particular product which is required to control the BP, instead of that, some wrong labeling happened and the wrong tablet goes to the patient. Instead of getting the BP under control, it may get shoot also. So it is very important to see that the labels are properly done on each and every container. Insufficient or too much active ingredient resulting in ineffective treatment or adverse effects. As I said, these active ingredients and excipients are there. There is a particular each and every formulation having the particular quantity. If you see the tablet or any capsule, there is a content 100 mg or 500 mg, 400 mg. So that kind of things we have to ensure in each and every tablet. I'm giving just one example. If you don't have that insufficient or too much, it will have the adverse effect. Okay. I hope I'm till time okay, clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. If you have anything in between, you can ask. I think most of the students, they are not allowed to speak out right now, but you can in between also stop me.
The session is now open for the queries. Students, अगर आपको कुछ questions, if you have any queries, you can ask. Sir, even I have 2 queries actually. Can I ask?
Okay. Beyond,
Yeah.
you can ask.
Then,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sir, one thing, actually the question may sound a bit silly. The manufacturing date is mentioned, like suppose manufacturing date is March 2021 and expiry date they mention as suppose February 2022. So they don't mention specific date, they mention the month. So when should we consider that medicine it has expired? Like first day of the February or last day of the February? This question is like, when we Google it, we get confused, they say you need to consider first or you need to consider last date. So what exactly we should consider?
Okay, got your point and good question. Actually, see, I will give the background on this expiry and retest of the product. See, whenever we manufacture any product, I will give example of API or even formulation also. I will take the example of tablets. See, when we give the manufacturing date, it is the date when we manufacture the product. Okay. And the expiry date, it is assigned based on the stability of that product. So there is a stability study being performed for each and every molecule what we manufacture. Okay. So that stability study is being done for 3 years in case of formulations. So based on that stability, we assign the expiry date. In case of APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, we go up to 5 years because all these are chemical products. So the expiry is assigned 5 years. The stability is performed up to 5 years. So during this stability data, we check all the batches which we keep on stability. Each and every batch doesn't go on stability, but there are representative batches, and that particular batch is tested at various intervals. So if I manufacture it in this particular month of, for example, February 2020, I will put one batch on stability, and there is a frequency of testing. There will be, after initial testing will be there immediately at release. There will be 3 months. I will test the sample. There will be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18, 24, 36. Like that, we have the frequency of testing this particular batch. So when we test it, we know that whether it is meeting my specification. As we've seen that there are specifications for each. Every time it should meet the specification. If it doesn't meet, we have to stop the stability over there. And there I have to assign the expiry. If my product is failing at 24 months interval, I have to assign the stability or the expiry as a 24 months. Okay. So when I am saying my product expiry is 3 years, the product is stable up to 3 years. So the month and year, it is mentioned on the tablets. So you can take it up to the last day of that particular month. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Means last day of the month. Let it be.
Yeah, we can take it.
And one more thing, sir. Where is India in case of manufacturing the active pharmaceutical ingredient? Means how far we have progressed? Like, are we importing it from some other countries like China? And what is our frequency of producing it?
So, it's again good question. So in case of APIs, we are far ahead of other countries. China is ahead of us, but India, we are having good manufacturing facilities for APIs. Not only APIs, intermediates also we have. Mostly what happens, all the chemicals, we get it, raw materials, we get it from China. But most of the industries, they are manufacturing all the intermediates or the active pharmaceutical ingredients. And then it is being processed for the formulation. You might be knowing that the companies, top companies, they are having their own formulations as well as the API manufacturing. So it all depends on the costing and all those things, handling of the products, control. See, sometimes if I manufacture one finished product as a tablet, manufacturing is there, and I'm depending on the Chinese or other sources, it becomes difficult to get the things. So many of the industries, we are having our own API manufacturing. So India is having a good set of API manufacturing. Even I will say maximum Indian companies are selling their active ingredients to the overseas customers. Export. US, Europe, Canada, Australia, many API goes to the other countries from India.
Sir, predominantly which drug we are manufacturing? Like India exports which kind of drug? Like
all kind of drugs. It's not a specific. All kind of drugs are being exported. It could be can say antiretrovirals are there, psychotics are there, narcotics are there. Then your antibacterial, antifungal, antimalarial, all kind of drugs are being exported.
okay,
Are there. So
okay.
it all depends within India as well as outside. Some people manufacture their own formulations and then export the formulations.
Okay, yeah, that I know, that I'm aware.
Yeah, both are happening.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Students, if you have any question, you can ask.
Sir, I have one question. Can I ask?
Okay.
Just now you talk about the stability.
Yeah.
The stability thing you did in the certain environment, but when the people purchase that medicine, they never kept in the same environment. So how you look at that expiry period?
Yes, very good question. See, when we do the stability, sorry, I didn't explain in detail because time constraint is there. When I said I am doing the stability at intervals, I test it 2, 3 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, like that. The same time, I'm having a different storage temperature. The stability is being done at 25 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, sometimes 2 to 8 degree, 40 degree. So various temperature we do this study. Okay, so worst case, we know that there is a product stable at various conditions. Okay, so it takes care of this particular thing. So when it is cold storage, like 2 to 8 degrees storage, so it is mentioned on the product itself. It could be a tablet. You can see that on that it is mentioned that store into the refrigerator or something. So the instructions are given. So we have to follow that if it is really required. Otherwise, the normal, if it is not mentioned, if it is room temperature, we can store it at anywhere. It doesn't have any impact. When we say room temperature, at that time, the stability is conducted at 40 degrees Celsius also. The product remains stable. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
In next 5 years, so many patent going to unlock. Then that will be effects on Indian pharmaceutical market, or it will grow,
No.
or
See, it again depends. So patent again, it's a big chapter. It's not only the Indian patents. There are various process patents are there. Some market patents are there. Like I can manufacture the product in India. I cannot sell it to the US, or I cannot manufacture the product by the same process which is already patented. So there are various things involved. Some products which are patented in particular, like US and India, it may be not patented in Europe also. So while taking the patent, we have to take care of all these things. So it all depends on that.
thank you, sir.
Whenever any company is going to manufacture any product, this particular department is there who takes care of all these patents. The study is done, and then only the product is selected, market, the country, everything is taken care of. Okay. Shall I move ahead?
Madam,
Yes, sir.
please take some questions from students.
Yeah, sure.
And if
Yeah.
Shall I move ahead?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think I will just finish up this and then we can take more questions. Let people be ready with the questions. I will try to explain. Okay. We are discussing about the good manufacturing practices. So we have discussed a lot on these things, expiry, stability, and all those things. So benefits of these GMPs, again, we can see. Outline a quality system that reduces or prevents errors. Ensures products are safe for use in humans. Prevent control contamination, cross-contamination. Variations in potency, physiological activity, side effects. So all this mislabeling, adulteration, these are the things which are taken care if we follow the good manufacturing practices. Okay. See, as we are discussing on this particular good manufacturing practices, so all these things document all GMP activities. We need to document it. Otherwise, you manufacture the product, and if you don't record it or document it, it's of no use. So records are very much important here. Use good documentation practices. So there are good documentation practices. Records must be readily available. If you manufacture the batch and if some related batch related documents are required, we should be able to make it available immediately. Good documentation practices involves like permanent black or blue ink. So suppose I'm using a gel pen. We know that the gel pen, the ink may get fed up or it may get removed also. If there is a water spillage also, it may go. So the permanent black or blue ink is being used for the recording of these documents. The document should be legible, clear, and concise. It should be clearly written. Otherwise, whatever we are writing, if it is not legible, it's of no use. It should be accurate and timely and complete. So So whatever we perform, we have to perform it within the time and complete it. Okay. So now till time we have seen that all the manufacturing, testing, warehousing, then quality assurance also. So these are all internal site functions which are taking care of manufacturing of the products. So when we talk about the GMP, good manufacturing practices, whether it is really being followed, whether is there anything which is not followed or any wrong things are there. So there are various regulatory authorities. When we are saying that our product goes to various countries, so there are regulatory authorities, regulatory bodies. Like USA, you can see that the Food and Drug Administration, US FDA. UK, we have Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agencies. We call it as MHRA. So each and every country, they are having their own authorities. In India, we have Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO. We have the FDA also, local Food and Drug FDA. So they are again in parallel to Central Drug Standard. Australia, we have Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA, Health Canada. Europe, there is a European Medicines Agency, EMEA. In Europe, again, each country will have their own authorities. China, again, having State Food and Drug Administration, South Africa, Brazil, Japan. So these are all regulatory authorities. If I have to make a product and I have to sell it into the US, okay, I will take an example. So this particular US FDA authority, they will come to the site. First of all, I have to submit the documents to the authority. We call it a drug master file. And then they will come for the site inspection. They will perform the site inspection, whatever procedures we are following, whatever products we have manufactured, stability, everything, cleanliness, housekeeping, they will ensure. They will perform the audit. If I am meeting all the requirements, the product requirements, then only I am supposed to sell the product into that country. Otherwise, they will not allow me to export the product to that particular country. So like this, in all the countries, if I have to sell the product, I have to meet the guidelines of those countries and meet the specific audits. Okay. So these are all governing bodies. So each and every activity being performed in the pharma industry is a regulated activity. We cannot do on our own anything. There are various guidelines which are clearly defined, which are also available on the internet. If somebody is interested, they can go on the internet and check the guidelines also. Okay. So till time I was talking about API manufacturing, formulation manufacturing, and governance, everything. Being all your students from either BSc or MSc, I'm just taking one snapshot from here, career opportunities in API industries, because all the students now, they are eager to come out of the colleges and join any of the industry. So pharma industry, basically, I want to give a short introduction here. So here, as I explained, each and every department, like process development, analytical development, technology transfers. So all these departments, various functions, various qualifications are required. It's not only this much, but there could be some additional also, be Pharm, M.Com, or be chemical, various required. I will just take you through this process development, as it is related to the process, chemical processing. So mainly MSc organic chemistry people go to this process development part. It's all R&D, you can say research and development. Analytical development is another part of this development study, wherein the analytical methods are developed. So mostly MSc analytical people, they get opportunity in the analytical development department. Process development, MSc organic chemistry. And sometimes MSc organic, inorganic, physical, it again depends on the process development. Technology transfer, as I said, this transfer happens from R&D to the plant. So these people, they may be from either MSc organic, MSc analytical, or BE chemical also. So these are the three departments which takes care of process development and transfer. And in manufacturing production department, either we can have MSc Organic and or BE Chemical. Mostly MSc Organic and BE Chemical are being preferred. Warehouse, this is one of the department where some companies, they take BSc Chemistry also as a part of their warehouse people. So some BSc people may get chance over here. It again depends. Engineering is one of the department in the pharma industry wherein we can get the B mechanical, B electrical, B civil or electronics. So these are the departments who takes care of all your engineering activities at the site. As we have seen, a lot of air handling units are there, utilities are there, cooling, heating, chilling, boilers. So these engineering activities being taken care of by this department. Quality control, as we have seen, their testing part. Mostly and MSc Analytical Chemistry is preferred because a lot of instrumental tests are there. Even MSc Organic Chemistry are also preferred, and MSc Microbiology. So as we have seen, there are the various functions in the QC. So one of the part is microbiological testing. So wherein this microbiology students may get opportunity, MSc Microbiology. In quality assurance, again, it is a combination, either MSc Organic, Analytical, BE Chemical. Even MSc Microbiology also may get a chance in quality assurance. But overall, what I will say, the people who comes to the quality assurance, either they have experience from all these things somewhere in any of the department. So it helps them to in their further career. In regulatory affairs, so as we have seen, there are various regulatory bodies are there to interact between the regulatory authorities as well as with the manufacturing sites. So this is a department wherein regulatory affairs people are prepared, either MSc Organic, Analytical or BE Chemical. So these are some of the basic qualifications required in these particular departments. Being a regulatory activities, these people need to be qualified, and then only they will be getting opportunity. Thank you very much. I think I covered in short all the basic requirements which are involved into these pharmaceutical operations. Considering the time, I think I have covered it. With this, I conclude my presentation, and I thanks for all listening patiently. And I wish all the students all the best for their bright future. And definitely somewhere I may be meeting some of you in the industry. Thank you. And you can have some questions if somebody has any questions.
The session
Sir,
is
I have
open
one
for
question.
Yeah, doctor, go ahead.
Yes. What is the validity period of that US FDA? Means if that US FDA approved one product,
Once
then
you
what
get
should be the validity?
okay, there is no as such validity for any inspection. Even though they do the inspection, they mention that it's site responsibility, the manufacturer responsibility to meet all the requirements. So today, if I am finishing the audit, and within 8 days, if I am getting a critical complaint, they may come for the audit again. Or sometimes the audit is for some new products, which I am developing and submitting to the authority. They may come after 1 year also. It again, there is surveillance audit or show cause audit, complaint based like that.
Okay, means there is no specific time for that. 4 year, 5 years. It is not specific time for
It's
that.
not a specific, it again depends, but mostly it depends on the product complaints or how much product we are selling into that country. Again, it is a risk base. If I am selling a lot of products, so they will do within 2 years also. If I'm manufacturing and not selling into the US, they will come after 3 years, 4 years also. It depends. Sometimes they need some products which I'm manufacturing. So that again, they will trigger audit and they will come to the site.
Yes.
Yeah. But some good countries, they have a specific like 3 years, 2 years.
Good noon, sir.
Yes.
I have one query. In every chemical, the main component
Yeah.
is present in very little quantity, but other neutral components are there. to minimize the side effects. So on what factors the quantity of other chemicals is decided?
See, basically, these other chemicals, these are called as excipients. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have to mix API and excipients. So it again depends on the products. What excipients we have to use it. Sometimes binders are also used to get that product binded. Some are sustained release tablets, or it again depends on the product. It's not specific quantities are being used. These all developed during the product development. The quantities are defined.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for a very informative talk.
Yeah.
Students, have you any query? Okay, Rima, go ahead.
Yeah. So the session was really very fruitful for us as we expected. Thomas Jefferson has rightly said that consider chemistry among the most useful of sciences and big with future discoveries for the utility and safety of the human race. So from this lecture, we have come across that we have so many opportunities in store for us. I mean to say when it comes to students who are they're very enthusiastic regarding their future. So this lecture was very much beneficial, and I think now the students have a very clear idea regarding how the how the manufacturing process actually takes place in the pharmaceutical industry, and they will be very well aware in which stream or in which field they can go, like QA, QC, whatever they desire to do. So now I request Dr. Neelkant Dahale sir, sir, coordinator IQSC, to sum up the program and deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, namaste, honorable chief guest and all the other honorable my colleagues and students. The resource person, Mr. Chandramohan Nibe, quality assurance from MQR Pharma, the vice principal of science wing of our college, Shahaji More sir, and also the head of the Department of Chemistry, Honorable Dr. Dattatreya Hingne sir, chairperson of College Industry Coordination Committee, the other colleagues in the Department of Chemistry, Ganesh sir, then Batra ma'am, and all the other colleagues in science wing, and my dear students, brothers and sisters. Before I say a word to some of the lecture delivered by honorable guest, let me just put it solemnly that I'm a sort of intruder in this occasion, where I belong to the discipline of literature and language, and find it somehow uneasier to say a word authoritatively on the topic delivered by the guest, Nibe sir. I express my sense of gratitude towards the honorable principal of the college, Dr. Pandurang Gaikwad Sahib, and also the Department of Chemistry and the College Industry Coordination Committee for giving me this opportunity to some of this guest lecture and also propose vote of thanks here. Well, at the beginning of this lecture, while introducing the very occasion, the event, Shahaji More sir rightly said that it is just the from dawn to dusk matter that the talk on the topic like this, that experts talk on processes involved in pharmaceutical industry. Being a common beneficiary of this sort of thing, I look at this particular opportunity to listening to the guest here for, just, from a distance only, because the very treasure or treasury of knowledge about pharmaceutical industry is being opened here. And also very common listener or viewer of this particular event, I found it very much interesting to see how manufacturing of such kind of things could be there. And particularly, that being a person in the academia, I have little knowledge about this discipline and had only the sort of understanding about chemistry, that there could be or would be some kind of chemicals and then other processes in the laboratory, and well, that the other products would be there in the would be made available in the market. But now I would can also explain a little more about how even the medical ingredients would be there manufacturing in the laboratory inside. And it is absolutely the very the first particle that would have been there in this process of manufacturing industry till the marketing of the product, the refinement product, quality assured product. And that way I would like to just express my thankfulness towards the speaker for making this ocean of knowledge about pharmaceutical industry to the students of this college. Not only the students of chemistry department, but the students irrespective of the other disciplines in the science wing of the college, now definitely would be in position to approach the real life situations, or I would say the applied side of any discipline for that matter, and they would be confidently face the interview process and other things there definitely once they would get through their degrees from the college. I once again just would like to just end my summing up of the lecture here, because this is all Greek and Latin to me, as far as that you must have understood this, that there is no even the little side there with me to use the terminology of this industry and all that. Well, as far as the proposing vote of thanks, I, on behalf of the college, would like to say big thank towards the guest, Mr. Chandramohan Nibe, Director Quality Assurance from MQR Pharma, for providing this kind of knowledge to the students of the college. I'm very much thankful towards him. Also, I equally would like to express thanks towards the Department of Chemistry and the College Industry Coordination Committee for making this kind of rare opportunity, or I would say the timely opportunity to the students and all the other colleagues also, including myself. I express a lot of thanks towards them. Then the Mr. Shahaji More sir for making introduction to the event. Then Dr. Dattatreya Hingne Sarji for introducing the guest, and also the other colleagues for listening patiently the occasion. My colleague Rima Batra for anchoring the event, and also the other colleagues were from the Department of BBA CA for providing very expert technology assistance for success of this event. And last but not least is the fraternity of the students, or the community of the students, for listening patiently and making the most of it. I assure the chief guest that definitely, sir, you will find our students there in the industry soon. And with this, with the prior permission of the chair, I conclude the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Let us stop here. Rima, conclude the session.
Yeah, Nitanjali ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please conclude.